Ask any dentist and they'll tell you that cola is the most evil thing that you can put in your body. So don't drink it, but do science with it. You can do great experiments with all kinds of different cola, mixing it with lots of things that you might have around the house. We're going to try a couple of things today, one of which you've probably heard, and then a few others that you might not. So first of all, we're going to pop some milk. This is just regular semi-skimmed milk into some cola. And it will sort of mix and fizz at the beginning. And what's happening here is a chemical reaction between the proteins and the acids in the cola. And what it's doing is something called denaturing the proteins, which makes them clump up into gooey, gloopy, sort of stringy clumps. And if I let that settle out for a while, and I'll show you a little bit later, what happens when those two things mix together. Now, if you think about, if you ever drink cola and eat or something else at the same time, this is what's going to be happening in your stomach. So that's one. The next thing to do that's quite fun is to grab some household bleach and add that to your cola. Now, not only will this get quite warm, and you should really probably do this with gloves if you're going to try it at home, and certainly only ever try it with an adult. And don't mix it too harshly or that will happen. What you'll start to see really quickly is that the colour starts going very rapidly from the cola, and it will start turning a lovely sort of yellowish colour, and then eventually it will turn, this is one I made earlier, almost completely clear. So that's still cola, but the bleach has reacted and taken out all of the colour from that, which is also quite a good fun one to do. If you want to go for something with a big bang, then you really can't go past the good old-fashioned cola and mentos trick. And you can ham it up a bit rather than just throwing a few mentos into your cola by getting yourself a sort of mentos tube ready, a piece of card to cover off the container, and if you're putting this straight into a cola bottle, then you can still do the same thing. And then you sort of go 1, 2, 3, and that should very quickly make a giant mess all over the house. Now, interestingly, this is just regular full-fat cola that I'm using. Diet cola is the one that's going to give you this fountain straight up into the ceiling. It reacts even more. And the reason it reacts so well with Mentos in particular, though I encourage you to try chucking any kind of sweets or foods that you've got around the house and just see what happens, is because Mentos is coated in tiny, it's like the surface of the moon. It's got hundreds and hundreds of little craters which all grab onto those bubbles and they rapidly expand, giving you that shot up into the air. And now, to go back to the lovely milk and cola experiment, this one's still reacting here. It's very, very cloudy, and you're starting to see little tiny bits of protein that are coming out in clumps. This is one I made earlier. This has now been sitting and reacting for about 15 minutes, and you can see very clearly here you've got the layer of clumpy protein down the bottom and then the liquid that's still left over in the middle. Just imagine that in your stomach.